joining the MyPath Wellness team. We're going to be setting you up today with your MyFitnessPal app to go ahead and get you set up with logging your food. So we're going to go up to myfitnesspal.com. We have the option to go ahead and sign up through Facebook. It'll give you a little pop-up window that'll tell you to put in your username and password with Facebook, and it'll set you up. Today we're going to go ahead and sign you up with email. So we're going to go ahead and click on that here. You're going to go ahead and create your username. So we're going to go ahead and create MyPath Wellness. Put in email address and put in a password there. And then you're going to go ahead and hit continue. When it goes through this for us, you're going to go ahead and input in your information here. So you're going to go ahead and put in what your weight would be, what your height's going to be, what your goal weight's going to be. Whether you're male or female, go ahead and put in your date of birth, zip code, that sorts. Once you go through that, these areas right down here don't really make a difference for us because we're actually not going to be tracking the nutrition or tracking the exercise piece here. So you can just leave those as they are. And then actually I want you to go ahead and change this to maintain my current weight. And again, we'll be adjusting that when we go through this. And then if you want to receive newsletters, you can go ahead and click that. And then you're going to go ahead and save and continue. Once we go through that, if you want to invite someone, you can invite someone. We're going to go ahead and skip here. And then this is just going to kind of give us an idea of what we're supposed to be looking at for calories. But again, we're going to adjust that for you. And then we're going to go ahead and click on Get Started Now. So the couple areas that we're going to be looking at here is doing our goals is the very first thing that we're going to want to get through. So we can close out of this. We don't really need to go through that right now. So we're going to change out our goals. In the goals, MyFitnessPal has it pretty simple and straightforward. We're going to click on the daily nutrition goals, click on edit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in for the daily nutrition goals. For men, we're typically looking at about 2,000 calories. Is going to help us with losing about 1 pound a week, sometimes a little bit more. And for females, we're going to be looking at about 1,500 calories. So go ahead and put those in that fits for your person, and that will help us get started up. Carbohydrates, we're going to leave this at 50%. Fats, we're actually going to change that to 25%. And proteins, we're going to change it to 25%. And then we're going to go ahead and save those changes. The next one we're going to do is we're going to go into settings. When we're into settings, we're going to come all the way down to diary settings. And through here we have carbohydrates, fats, protein, sodium, and sugar. We don't look at sugar because that is included in the carbohydrates. So what we typically look at is, depending on the person, but we'll be looking at either saturated fats, we're going to be looking at cholesterol, we're going to be looking at sodium and fiber. So I like to go ahead and put in for it typically the saturated fats and the sodium to get started with. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and change the meal names. So we're leaving breakfast as is, and then we're going to go ahead and change this into second breakfast. And then we're going to put in lunch, and then we're going to do second lunch, and we're going to do dinner, and then we're going to do second dinner. Okay, and then down here you have the diary sharing preferences. So for us as your trainers, if you want us to be able to look at your stuff, you're going to go ahead and put on friends only, or you can put public. Typically we put in friends only, and then we just add the MyPath team, but go ahead and look at that. And then you're going to go ahead and save those changes. Then what we're going to do is once that's all set up, we're all taken care of, and you can come over to your food, and you can start to log in your food. So a couple areas you can look at is right here. So you can click on the Add Food icon, and you can go ahead and start to input in whatever type of food you end up having. So if you end up having a glass of milk, let's say you had 1% milk, you go ahead and search for that, and it'll come up and it'll give you a list of different 1% milks. And so you just find one that kind of sounds pretty close to what you had, and then you put in the amount of the serving you had. You can change this thing right here. If you end up having 16 ounces, you can put you have 2 servings. And then also you can pick out which meal you end up having that with. And then you just go ahead and add that food to your diary. So after you've logged your milk in there, it'll go ahead and populate that in your breakfast. And it'll give us our breakdown of what our information is going to be in there. If you need to make adjustments to that, you can go ahead and click on the actual item. If you need to delete it, you can just hit the little delete icon. And then you're just going to, a couple of key things to look at. Breakfast is something that you're going to eat within the first hour of waking up. Second breakfast is anything you're going to eat between breakfast, that 1 hour, and lunchtime. And then also one key one to look at is that second dinner. This is going to be anything you have after dinner. So go ahead and start logging your food in so we can kind of start seeing what your nutrition is looking like. Feel free to ask us any questions if you have anything with that. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add on your trainers so we can be able to look at your nutrition from remotely. So go ahead and come up to this little community and click on that here. Once you get to that, you're going to go ahead and come to Find Members. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click under the Find Members. We're going to go ahead and type in MyPath Gym. This is where we have most all of our trainers come through here and look at your nutrition. And then you're going to go ahead and click on Add as a Friend. Once you click on Add as Friend, it'll ask you if you want to put in a message. You can put in a message. You don't need to. We'll go ahead and look at that. And then go ahead and Add as a Friend. Once you've got that all taken care of, everything is pretty much all set up. And go ahead and get your food logged in there again. And then let us know if you have any questions. But for now, good job with this getting it all set up, and we look forward to looking at your nutrition.